Hi there, everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to connect these addressable LED kits that I sell. This has everything that comes in the kit. The matrix boards, this would be a 6 matrix board set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2 of the side strip LEDs, 144 LEDs each that you can put on the side of your LED kit. The controller, and then a power supply to drive it all. And hooking it up is actually pretty simple. I have a lot of this already hooked up for you to see, but you really have the back of these LED boards. There's an input side. You just want to plug that in. I can show you a little better on this chip here. You see it's labeled in right there. And so you can just plug that in. This power and this out is really not needed in almost all cases. So the only one you'll ever have to plug anything into is this in. If you wanted to daisy chain these, then you could do that. And I'll just show you how you do that real quick. So I've got 2 sets here, and you can see I've got my input and with something going in there. But if, say, I wanted to daisy chain these, then what I could actually do is just unplug this guy and then just gotta actually do a little bit of rewiring here, but essentially, since currently we've got this guy going to the input, and it is going to be a little tricky for me to get this off. Let's see if I can do it easily enough. Just gotta release that pin and then pull it out. Okay, and so now I'm going to take 2 of these wires and plug them into each other like this. Okay, and so now I have a way to plug in those terminals on each, so I can plug this one into the output of the one LED, and like, let's say we're doing a daisy chain. Typically, the way the LEDs go is like from right to left. So I'm going to want to take this board itself and have this guy going into here. As I mentioned, it can be a little bit difficult to do this while the boards are on there. You can remove them pretty easily though. So that's in the output, and then the output just goes into the input like this. Almost got it. There we go. And so now we have a set, instead of a 256 LED board, we now have a 512 LED board. Okay, so just a different way to hook it up, and that way you can drive it with one output from your main board. However, I made these new boards. They have 10 outputs, which is more than enough for any configuration, so you shouldn't have to do that in most cases. So I'm going to set this aside, and we won't worry about that for now. We'll make this just a 4 setup, just to make things a little bit simpler. But you can see how that would be done. And obviously, now you've got a 512 board, and you can do the same thing with these. And instead of having 6 panels, you'd essentially just have 3 512 LED panels, which is also possible. But that's how you do that. For now, we're going to run these separately. By the way, it does make sense from a performance standpoint to have them set up to a separate output. The way that DOF works and the addressable LED chip works, it's actually going to be faster. You're going to have a slightly faster frame rate if you use less LEDs per output. Okay, so that's why I set it up this way, and why it makes sense to keep it that way if you can. If you can't, then that's not a problem. It's not like that big of a performance difference, but it's there. It's something to make note of. Otherwise, hooking it up is pretty straightforward. As I mentioned, you just have to hook up these matrix panels to the board over here, and then these ones hook up as well. And then outputs 1 and 2, at least the way that I typically do it, are right here, and those will hook up to these LED strips here, and you can kind of see, you can cut these wires off. You don't even need to use them, but you just plug them in. And they literally just, whoa, I'm going to lose that for a second there. They literally just plug in. I got a lot of wires dangling around here, but No big deal, because we're just in a cabinet. It's going to be a little bit different, of course. You just plug those in like that. Okay. Now, mounting these on your cabinet, you've got a lot of different options, because I give you this back plate here. You can see there's holes in it, and then you can unscrew. There's little black screws. It's probably hard to see them here, but you can unscrew those 4 screws, lift the panel off, and then screw these back plates into your cabinet to mount them. And I actually have single back plates and dual back plates. This is a dual back plate, but I also have single back plates in case you get like an odd number of addressable LED panels. That'll work as well. And then when you mount them all together, you can see it's very easy to align these so that they look pretty seamless, because all the dimensions are pretty accurate. So hooking these up, fairly simple. You hook them up. 1 and 2 goes to these side strips. Then 3 and 4 is your first panel. 5 and 6 is your second panel. 7, 8, third panel. Okay, you get the gist of it. Continue on. It comes with a power supply, so you can hook the power supply up. And I do recommend you give it power right away like this. Okay. And then once you got the power supply plugged in, so I'll plug it in right here. You can see it's got a green LED indicator light to make sure that it's on. And then you just got to plug in your USB. And as soon as I plug that USB plug in, you're going to see the test cycle turn on, and that indicates that you have everything hooked up. Okay, so that's nice to have there. After you have everything hooked up, the only thing you have left to do is to configure it for DOF, which we're going to do that really quick. I have this first page that you go to, which shows you how to create a global config file, and that's by just copying this text out here. If I go to my config directory, then you'll see your global config v2s 2s server. You can open that up, and you can literally just paste that value in there. You see it's already exactly the same. What this does, the only thing you have to make sure of is that these paths are correct. The C drive direct output config, and then C drive direct output config cab.xml. So that'll tell you where your cabinet file is and where your INI files are. So as long as you have that set up properly, you're not going to have any issues. And then the next thing to set up is your cabinet.xml. And so this one is also fairly easy to generate. You just go into this file here. You don't really have to worry about any of this stuff. Go to the cabinet file generator. And in this case, we have a 4 matrix config. I click this button. It'll set that up. Now, the only thing is you need to figure out which COM port number this is. I go into Device Manager. There's a lot of different ways you can find this, but this is one such way that you can do it. Once this open up, you'll look at your ports, and you can see I've got one here, COM5. So I'm going to guess that's the correct one. So I'll put COM5 in here. And number of LED outputs is 6, and that's because we have 6 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see that each of these are 256 LEDs, each of these panels. If you were doing the different panel setup with 512, all you'd really have to do is just change this to 512 like this. And you can see it actually updates all 4 of the panels here. And then of course, in that case, you would actually only have 4 outputs, and so you'd have 2 sets of 512. The width and the height is the same, but we're going to go back and just go back to our 4 matrix config and put those defaults in there. And this cabinet file should be all set to go, because it's already kind of set up and for my addressable LED panels, so that all you have to do then is just copy to the clipboard, and then you can go over to your cabinet, which is right here, and paste it in, and everything should be set. The last thing to do is go into the DOF config tool and set up your config. In this case, I have my right effects, my left effects, and my back effects MX set up here, and you pick the WS2811 output type. You do that, and then you click save and generate config, and that'll generate the config for you. This back effects, there's actually an HD one that you can pick from now too. So back effects MX HD. I don't have this one on here, but yeah, that's an option. Since these are HD panels, it'll actually take advantage of the LEDs that are closer together. For certain games, you'll be able to utilize that. There's a little more config you have to do that for that to work, but there's a lot of other tutorials on setting that up, so you can look those up. So yeah, once you have those three things in place, you'll look in your folder here. When you click Generate Config, it'll give you this 30.ini file. I also have an 11.ini file because that's for my Pin 1 controller. In some cases, you're not going to have that. And then, of course, I've got my cabinet file that I generated from my site, and then this global config. Once you do that, you should be able to go and actually run the config tester. I'll go ahead and run that. You select your B2S server that you generated, click OK. Once you click OK, you should see some action happening soon. It's just got to run first. Usually it doesn't take this long, but probably because I'm recording, it's taking its good old time. And yeah, there it goes. So you can see the LEDs are flashing. And yeah, if I run these commands, then I can see them actually working. If I have it working here, then it should also work in Visual Pinball. There's really nothing else to do at this point. It's just nice to be able to test them. One other thing that I should note, and that is if you go back to your config, into your cabinet, just some things that are nice to know. This brightness you may want to turn down, so you can go ahead and do that if you want in the future. Some of these panels might be like way blindingly bright, so easy to adjust that and turn them down. But I wanted to show you how to hook them up, how to test them, how to make things work, and that is pretty much it. You can see how simple it is to get going. There's no soldering, there's no special techniques when hooking it up. It's really just a matter of plugging everything in. And of course, you got to mount these things on your cabinet where you want. These are pretty easy to mount because they got two-sided tape on them, so you just run them down the rails wherever you can and plug everything in, configure it with DOF, and you're off and ready to go. Hope you guys learned a lot from that, and I will see you next time.